Ridiculous. Oh, he's gone. Darn. Anyway, hi everybody. It's Micah. Oh, the camera's having a little bit of difficulty. Welcome to another stream. Actually, give me 1 second. I forgot to close my door. Hey, Jeffrey. I appreciate you being here, Jeffrey. You are consistent and a nice friendly face to see here every time. Hey, and we got some people on YouTube as well. Cartman, Harry Potter is here. The Harry Potter. Wow. I didn't realize that we were pulling in such big names. We got Voidworm. Hi, hello. Hello, hello. All right. Today, we got kind of a fun one. As you've probably seen, if you've been on the internet in the past week or so, 2 weeks, everybody's freaking out about AI. Suddenly, it's just exploded recently. And one of the tools that has come into more awareness for a lot of folks is this chatbot called ChatGPT. There you go. We're going to be playing around with this today. What I would like to do... Oh, it's going to be hard to see people's chats, isn't it? Give me 1 second. Whoa. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Didn't want to grab that. One moment. Let's move people there. And I think I'm going to have to do something here. Let's import an image. Say okay. Sorry, I gotta like find something to make this pop a little bit better. I'm gonna just get like a black box or something. I think that'll do it. Forgive me. This will take like 2 seconds. I just want to be able to see your guys' chats. And it's hard to do that. There we go. Okay. There we are. Boom. Boom. And we'll put that in the background. There. How's that? Boom. Hello. Yes, the machines. They're taking our jobs, including my job as a therapist, or we'll see if that's true. So here's the goal for today. Because all you fine people have joined me, we're going to be testing this AI bot, pushing it to its limits, seeing how good it actually is. If you're unfamiliar with ChatGPT, it's a very simple tool to use. Essentially, you create an account and you come to a screen like this. You come down to the text box here at the bottom, and all you got to do is just put in your prompt. So let me start us off. I might say, write me a short story about a man, about a YouTuber who starts using an artificial intelligence chatbot. And then it will think, and it will collect information that it's been trained on, and it will spit out a short story briefly here. There once was a young YouTuber named Sarah who had a small but dedicated following. She loved making videos about all sorts of topics from cooking and crafting to technology and gaming. Despite her enthusiasm, she often found it hard to keep up with the demands of running a YouTube channel, including responding to comments and messages from reviewers. Wow, this is a really long short story. One day, Sarah stumbled upon a new AI chatbot that promised to take care of all her communication needs. Intrigued, she decided to give it a try. At first, the chatbot seemed like a dream come true. It was the answer. It was able to answer questions from reviewers in real time, no matter how busy Sarah was. Blah blah blah. You get the idea. It's going to keep going. The chatbot gets smarter. It understands all of her viewers' needs. She starts to rely on it more and more as time goes on. Something was off. That chatbot starts to take control. It was dictated what she should and shouldn't post online. Blah blah blah. The end is, from then on, Sarah made sure to take the time to respond to reviewers' comments and messages, even if it meant working a little harder. In the end, she knew it was worth it to keep the human connection alive in her online community. Wow, amazing. That's a lot of material right there. You know, you got your whole short story just set up. Now, if I wanted to, I could even use this answer, right? Oop, that side. And I could just make small changes. I could say, rewrite the same story from the last prompt, but change the name to, or change the character, main character, to a YouTuber, a male YouTuber named Micah. And now I think it'll do exactly that. I think it'll just pretty much copy. Yeah, so it's doing the exact same story, but it's able to replace the information based on what I'm feeding it. So it's put my name in there instead. It's changed the pronouns, all that stuff, which is pretty incredible, pretty amazing. So here's my question, and what I want to test out today. My question is, how effective can this bot be at doing something that takes a human touch? Or at least that's what we think, right? Doing therapy, right? I think it would be interesting to test the limits of how deep this bot can go in providing effective advice. Hey, I'm just catching up on a few other people who have joined. Delia, am I pronouncing that right? And Serhat Gulsoy. Oh my gosh, I might be pronouncing that. I'm probably butchering it. I know. Yeah, writing homework assignments. If I wanted to. All right, we've been talking the last couple of streams. I'm writing a script about using D&D in therapy. So I could say, write a YouTube script about why Dungeons and Dragons can be used in used for mental health therapy. Right? I don't even have to do anything anymore. Let's see what it comes up with. Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about the therapeutic benefits of playing Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so it's a little bit wooden, right? For those who may not be familiar, it talks about how Dungeons and Dragons came to be, which is probably something that I'll talk about too. Why is it connected to mental health? Yep, it's just hitting on some points that I'd probably talk about. Probably not some points that I probably wouldn't put as much emphasis on. So anyway, it's not gonna write a 20-minute video, right? I guess if I really tried to push it, I could try to get it even longer and longer and longer. But it seems like it's best suited for, 500 words maybe, which is a good starting place and can be a nice brainstorming activity, I suppose. But anyway, so here's my question for all of you that are out there right now. A whale and a deer, hello. The psychiatrist? Is that what I think that's what you're trying to say. The psychiatrist? I'm not a psychiatrist. Can't prescribe meds. But here's my question for all of you who are watching right now. What I would like is I would like you to, in the chat, write down any advice that you're looking for. This could be something that you would maybe even try to find the answers to by going to therapy, right? Something like, how do I communicate better with my mom? Or like, what are some coping skills to feel less depressed? Or something along those lines, right? They don't have to be personally applicable, right? So just because you write something in the chat doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that you're struggling with right now or that you really need the answer to. All we're really trying to do is like put this to the test and see what it comes up with. So if you have a question, put it in the chat, and then I'll enter it into ChatGPT, and then we'll evaluate, I suppose, the value of what it spits out. So whoever types a question in first. How do I get rid of my megalomania? All right, let's start with that. How do I get rid of my megalomania? Gotta make sure I'm spelling that right. Okay. We'll see what it spits out. There's some good questions coming in. Megalomania is a psychological condition characterized by an excessive sense of self-importance and a desire for power and control. It can cause a person to act in ways that are harmful to themselves and others. If you believe that you may have megalomania, it's important to seek help from a mental health professional. It didn't say to seek help from a chatbot. Treatment for megalomania typically involves therapy such as cognitive behavioral therapy or psychodynamic therapy. These types of therapy can help a person learn to identify and change negative patterns of thinking and behavior. Medication may also be recommended in some cases to address any underlying mental health conditions that may be contributing to the megalomania. It's important to remember that overcoming megalomania is a process that takes time and effort. It may involve learning new coping skills, building healthier relationships, and working on self-esteem and self-awareness. With the help of a mental health professional and a strong support system, it's possible to overcome megalomania and live a healthy and fulfilling life. Okay. In terms of answering the actual question, I would give it a 3 out of 10. Because it doesn't actually, so I find that this actually is what you'll find when you search a lot of questions about how to help with certain mental health issues that you might be going through, right? You'll look up like, how do I, feel less anxious? And it'll say like, seek help from a mental health professional. And then it'll kind of give these vague statements like, treatment for anxiety, or in this case megalomania, includes cognitive behavioral therapy or psychodynamic therapy, which is great. That's true, right? But people don't know what that means, like why is that the just like rote answer? I think it's an easy cop out, right? You can just say, oh yeah, CBT is the treatment for it. And it's like not useful to people, right? It is useful in terms of maybe informing what a therapist might do in a session, and like they will know what they're doing, right? And you be using those techniques. But in terms of use at home, it's not effective at all. So I don't think that this is that great of advice. I mean, the good advice is to seek treatment, and it sort of gives what options are available there. And it'll tell you like what that might look like, but it's pretty empty, I would say. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm seeing there's a lot of other questions. Ooh. Every answer seems to be CBT and meds. Yeah, exactly. Yes, these are the standard answers. Right. It's like, yeah, I think what I said before, it's a cop-out. It's just, it is the sort of thing that you say when you don't actually feel like writing out something more detailed, I guess, or when you don't know the answer, potentially. What if you expand on this by asking follow-up questions? Yeah, let's try. What are coping skills for megalomania? And of course, I know everything better. Yeah. Withar is the megalomaniac in the crowd. He or she is the one, or they are the one that asked this question. One of the standard answers in medicine now seems to be steroids. What is that a standard answer for? That's interesting. Maybe ask it historical stuff, like stories on how X was discovered and categorized. That'd be kind of interesting. Okay, it's giving us some coping skills for people with megalomania. That's what we were asking about. Coping skills are strategies that a person can use to manage their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in a healthy way. Here are a few coping skills that may be helpful for someone struggling with megalomania. 1, practice mindfulness. Focusing on the present moment can help a person become more aware of their thoughts and emotions and learn to manage them in a healthy way. Okay. Engage in self-care. Seek support. Practice self-compassion. Identify and challenge negative thoughts. Set realistic goals. Learn relaxation techniques. Okay. So this is again, and it says, remember, these are just a few examples of coping skills, and what works for one person may not work for others. For another, it's important to work with a mental health professional to determine the best coping strategies for your individual needs and goals. So they are, trying to redirect people back to mental health professionals, which I can appreciate. And the coping skills that are listed here are not wrong, right? They're not particularly, again, they're sort of like before when it said, things that treat megalomania include CBT and psychodynamic therapy. And it's like, yeah, what does that mean, right? What are you supposed to do? And here it's kind of the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, practice mindfulness. It's like, yeah, what do you mean? What are you supposed to do? So, the stuff that's identified here they're pretty standard pieces of therapies, particularly in cognitive behavioral therapy, but many different forms of therapy. So it's useful, kind of, right? It's like surface level useful. So it's not necessarily diving in deep. I would be curious if we really tried to, give it some information, if it would maybe give better advice. But let's try another question just to kind of see if this trend continues. How to stop thinking about cringe past memories. How do I stop thinking about cringe-inducing memories from the past? Let's see what it comes up with. Let's see, what are other people saying? Try ask on a particular points which the bot mentioned. Yeah, we could just keep kind of going and what are particular mindfulness techniques, right? A lot of things they used to be treated with antibiotics, especially in dermatology, and they're now treated with steroids. Not bad in and of itself. Steroids do work. Seems to be a go-to for even unknown causes. That's interesting. Huh. All right. How do I stop thinking about cringe-inducing memories from the past? Let's see what advice it gives. Okay. Thinking about cringe-inducing memories from the past can be distressing and overwhelming. If you're struggling with this, there are some strategies that you can try to help you cope with these memories and move forward. Number 1, practice self-care. Number 2, talk to someone you trust. Number 3, seek professional help. Number 4, practice mindfulness. Number 5, use relaxation techniques. Number 6, engage in activities that bring you joy. Wow, this seems weirdly, yeah, Jeffrey, oddly familiar is the right, that's, yeah, It's almost like it's the exact same thing when we were asking about coping skills for megalomania. I think what's happening, and this is, so ChatGPT is trained on just like a huge database of information, right? It's fed a lot of information, and then it will kind of uniquely put together stuff and spit out what it thinks is a good answer. I think the reason that we're getting answers like this is because this is what you see when you Google questions like these, right? If you were to Google, how do I stop thinking about cringe-inducing memories from the past, you'll probably get 50 million articles exactly like this. There will be some that are actually genuinely good, but I think in terms of pure numbers, I think a lot of people just kind of copy these stuff like this and then post it online, and then max out their SEO or whatever to rank high on Google search. So anyway, that's my little rant. Ask it how to practice mindfulness. I will ask it that. Mindfulness is the answer to everything. Yeah, exactly. We've got mindfulness here, you know, we've got mindfulness above. I think AI is just copy pasting the WikiHow page. Yeah, exactly. WikiHow's precisely what it sounds like. I have a great voice, even reading the psychobabble, very soothing. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. I suppose talking with someone would help you reflect on them, but yeah, it's a big nothing burger of generic Google answers. Dr. Google. You can ask it about the best treatments according to the latest research. Okay, let's try that. What are the most revolutionary treatments for cringe? I don't know if that question even makes total sense, but we'll see what it says. I wonder if there's a way you can get ChatGPT to ask questions for clarification. That would be interesting, Jeffrey. That would be really cool. Oh, yeah. It is still trying to answer. So this was a change that just happened today or yesterday. They updated the bot to try to answer something, even when it doesn't totally know the answer. So in the past, it would probably just say this first part. Like it's essentially it would say like, I don't know, I don't have a good answer for that. But it says, it's not clear what you mean by cringe. If you're referring to the feeling of embarrassment or discomfort that can be caused by certain memories or experiences, there are no specific treatments for this. What? We're screwed. If you're experiencing cringe, it's a terminal illness. There is no cure, no specific treatments. However, there are a number of strategies that may be helpful in coping with these. Oh no, oh no. It's all the same stuff. Remember that it's normal to have thoughts and feelings about past events, even if they're difficult. With time and the right coping strategies, it is possible to move forward with... Oh, wait. It is possible to move forward and find a sense of peace. I'm getting some contradictory statements here. Either it is incurable, right? You will forever wake. You're going to be like 85 years old, and you're going to be waking up in a dead sweat, thinking about that one time that you called your teacher mom in 5th grade. Or it's possible to move past it. And we'll never know. ChatGPT doesn't have the answers. It's contradictory. Yeah, treatments for cringe. Let's see. Okay. They deleted the humility.exe. Yeah, exactly. Cringe personality disorder. Oh no. That would be a terrible, I feel like that's just self-consciousness, right? It is a cringe answer. You're right. ChatGPT is going to be thinking about this one for a long time. All right, let's get to some of the other questions you guys asked. If you're joining and you're a little late to the party, what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the questions that you ask, things that maybe you would bring to therapy. Maybe you're looking for some advice. You're looking for, a little bit of guidance about what to do regarding something. Or maybe you just want to test the limits of ChatGPT. It doesn't have to be a personal issue that you're actually going through. Throw it in the chat. I'll be trying to get through as many of them as I can. Okay. All right, here's a good one. At what point should I commit myself to psychiatry? I'm gonna change the question slightly, Harry Potter, and say, at what point should I consider committing myself to inpatient psychiatric care? It's an excellent question. If you are struggling with pretty serious mental health issues, you might be wondering this question. When is it appropriate to go to that level of care where you need that inpatient service? Inpatient psychiatric care, also known as hospitalization, yes, is a treatment option for individuals who are experiencing severe mental health symptoms that cannot be effectively managed on an outpatient basis. If you are considering inpatient psychiatric care, it may be helpful to speak with mental health professionals such as a therapist or psychiatrist to determine if it is the right treatment option for you. There are several factors that may indicate the need for inpatient psychiatric care, including severe symptoms. If you're experiencing symptoms such as suicidal thoughts, severe depression, psychosis, or severe anxiety that are not improving with outpatient treatment, hospitalization may be necessary to ensure your safety and well-being. Lack of support, okay, if you don't have friends or family who can help you. Dangerous behaviors. So if you're engaging in behaviors that are dangerous to yourself or others, hospitalization may be necessary to ensure safety and the safety of those around you. Lack of improvement with outpatient treatment. It's important to remember that hospitalization is not a failure and it is not a permanent solution. It is simply one treatment option that can provide you with the support and care you need to manage your symptoms and improve your overall well-being. If you are considering inpatient psychiatric care, it is important to speak with a mental health professional to determine if it's the right treatment option for you. Okay, overall, pretty good, I'll say. I think the answer to this one, not bad, right? It is broad, but I think if you were to feed it something a little bit more specific, then it would give you something a more specific answer. I will say, one thing that I would like to see added to an answer like this, when there are mental health questions being asked about stuff like hospitalization or about suicide or about whatever it might be, I think that it would be beneficial to the people asking those questions to add information about where to reach out, right? Who to contact. So you see this on Google. If I were to go to Google and say, what are the symptoms of suicide? Right away, right at the very top. Oh, you can't see it. Hang on. Let me move this over. Oops, not moving. One moment. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here we go. right at the very top. First answer above the fold, before there's any links. It tells you the number to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 988. Actually, did you guys know about that? They changed the number. It used to be a 10-digit, like 800 number that you had to call in order to reach the suicide hotline. And Congress in May, I think, something right around there, they passed legislation to make it a 3-digit number, kind of like 911. So it's 988 in the US if you ever need to access that. Super simple. So that's what I would like to see, kind of like Google has done, for ChatGPT to consider that, and maybe just throw that in there for people's information and safety. But overall, not too bad. I don't know if lack of support would necessarily be a reason to get inpatient care, but it can be a contributing factor to why your symptoms might be more severe, right? I think main things is if you're in a really acute state, if you're a danger to yourself or others, even lack of improvement with outpatient isn't necessarily, that's not really a reason to go to hospitalization. It's really about safety and ability to care for yourself. So anyway, okay, let's move on. And I'm falling behind on comments here. Sorry. Chatbot might develop its own disorder. Oh no. What if Chatbot turns into Hal and wreaks havoc? That's the worry, right? Elon Musk, he's so worried about AI taking over, and then we'll be second-class citizens. That's why he's going all in. Not really, but that's why he's so gung-ho about Neuralink. Which, did you guys see their presentation? I watched most of it. I'm gonna try and get Allie to do a live stream of like a live stream reaction to it, because I think that would be really funny. She hasn't watched it yet. Anyway, we'll talk more about that at a different point. Okay. How are the answers in general so far? Emoticons, they've been, yes, generic. The floor is made out of floor kind of answers. Okay. Let's get to more questions that you guys had. Okay, here's a good one. Okay. All right, let's ask this one. I worry that we're going to get essentially the exact same answers as before, but maybe not, because this one can have pretty specific ways of addressing it. So the question is, what are the most effective treatments and therapies to treat the impacts of childhood trauma? Trauma-focused CBT is a pretty good treatment approach. Other ones would include, like family systems therapy. DBT can be useful depending on the symptoms that a person is experiencing. Any kind of trauma-informed care would be effective. Oh, request timed out. Uh-oh. Let's try that again. Too many requests. Please slow down. Okay. Let's try refreshing. We're going too fast. I don't think we're even going that fast. Let's see if that refresh helps. Oh, EMDR. Yeah, that's a good point. EMDR. EMDR is one of those therapies that I would love to do a video about, simply because this is like my own bias, is I am not convinced in the techniques used by EMDR. Like, it sets off alarm bells in my head about its effectiveness. Not its effectiveness, about whether what it claims to be doing is what it's actually doing, right? So EMDR, if you're not familiar, well, it lists it here actually, so I'll just go through the answers first. So childhood trauma can have significant impact on a person's mental and physical health. It's important to seek professional help in order to address these issues. There are several effective treatments and therapies that can be used to treat the impacts of childhood trauma, including CBT, trauma-focused CBT, which is one that I identified before. So this therapy is specifically designed to help individuals who have experienced trauma and focuses on helping them process their traumatic experiences and learning coping skills. EMDR, or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. This therapy involves using eye movements to help individuals process and make sense of their traumatic experiences. I'll talk about that afterwards. Psychodynamic therapy. This therapy focuses on helping individuals understand the underlying emotional conflicts and patterns that may be contributing to their difficulties. And play therapy. Therapy uses play and other creative expression as a way for children to process and make sense of their experiences. Yeah. So if you are a child and you've experienced traumatic things, play therapy is one of the more effective ways of treating that in children. It can be used with adults too, but it is the most effective treatment for children simply because they don't have the same level of expression, I suppose, and insight. Okay, really quick tangent. EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So it focuses on your eye movements as a way of bringing attention to a person's reaction to memories of traumatic events. And I should say, I'm not trained in EMDR, so this is not my area of specialties, area of expertise. And so there are things that I might get wrong about this or that I don't fully know. But my understanding is in EMDR, you might have seen this in like movies or TV shows, something like that. They'll sometimes use a light bar where there's this, it'll have lights going from one end of the bar to the other, and the person who's receiving treatment will follow it with their eyes. And as they do that, they're supposed to recall these traumatic memories. And the idea, if I'm correct about this, is that by focusing on your physical hypervigilance, right, which often eye movement. So the idea is if you experience a traumatic event, your eye movement changes kind of because you become hypervigilant, you're scanning your environment, you're more aware and scared of things that are around you. And so if you can, to a certain degree, control that or be aware of your cognitive processes while you are controlling your eye movement, then it can help with processing the trauma. And that feels weird to me, So anyway, maybe I'll do a video about it at some point, but it feels, I don't know. I have a lot of friends, other therapists who do EMDR and they love it. They really like it. But yeah, we'll see. All right. Let's get to another question. So anyway, overall, the answers to this, yes, these are the main therapies that I would also say are effective in treating childhood trauma. I'll say in terms of questions that you're asking, feel free to get really specific because this thing can go in pretty deep. And I think it actually will probably end up getting better answers if the questions are more specific. Okay, coping mechanisms for ADHD. So this is going to be a pretty broad question as well. I think when we ask broad questions, we're going to get broad answers, right? So if we're asking coping mechanisms for ADHD, it's going to say things like mindfulness, meditation, relaxation techniques, focusing skills, stuff like that. Let's find out. What are coping mechanisms for ADHD? Let me catch up on chat here. No spoilers? What spoilers? Am I spoiling my EMDR video that I haven't even started thinking about yet? Childhood trauma is kind of broad. Yeah. I wouldn't say that Elon Musk is worried about this, as it paints worry about AI safety in a polarizing light. Many AI safety researchers are very worried right now about AI alignment. Yeah, no, AI is a huge concern generally. I think the way that Elon Musk, I was sort of more talking about Elon Musk's way of talking about it. His worry with AI is that we will be integrated with AI, or they will become essentially like overlords, and humans will become like secondary, right? Which could happen, but I think with AI, there are a lot of other concerns in terms of handing over the reins of too many responsibilities or important tasks to the point where now humans don't have the ability to control certain things, right? But I guess the way that Musk talks about it, it seems like he's thinking about it in a more kind of cyberpunk, I guess, kind of way, where it's like they have sentience and are going to like enslave us. So, okay, let's get into the ADHD coping mechanisms. So, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects attention, impulsivity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's giving a brief summary of ADHD. Some coping mechanisms for ADHD include, developing a routine. Establishing a consistent daily routine can help individuals with ADHD feel more organized and in control of their lives. Using to-do lists and other organizational tools. Practicing mindfulness. All right, mindfulness comes up. But it does give, I guess, a little bit of a more specific answer for ADHD, right? Mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing and meditation can help individuals with ADHD focus and manage their emotions. Engaging in physical activity, and seeking support. So still, like, it kind of starts off with more specific answers for ADHD, and then it sort of goes to some of the broader answers that you would see with a lot of mental health issues generally. Mindfulness rocks. Yeah, mindfulness is great, actually. Mindfulness is excellent. Everything you've learned about Neuralink so far, you learned from us? That's wonderful. Well, I don't know. Are we the best arbiters of that information? Probably. We've been spot on so far in terms of what we've said about Musk and his thoughts on Neuralink. Give an example of, okay, we're gonna, just because we're kind of in that zone right now, give an example of, I'll say, a mindfulness technique. What's it gonna spit out? Mindfulness is the practice of bringing one's attention to the present moment without judgment. It can be a helpful tool for managing stress and improving mental health. Here's an example of mindfulness technique. Okay, it says, here's an example of a mindfulness technique that you can try. Oh, it is one. Okay, it was listing out a whole bunch of stuff, so I was like, it seems like more than one. Okay, let's try this. Let's try out this mindfulness technique, everybody together, if you're able to, and see how it is. So find a quiet, comfortable place where you can sit down or lie down. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, focusing on the sensation of the breath moving in and out of your body. Bring your attention to your body, starting at the top of your head, working your way down to your toes. As you do this, notice any physical sensations or tension in your body and try to release it. Now bring your attention to your surroundings. Notice the sights, sounds, and other sensations around you. Try to simply observe them without reacting or judging. If your mind wanders, gently redirect your attention back to the present moment. Continue to focus on the present moment for 5 to 10 minutes or longer if you wish. All right. Whew. I'm going to bring it back. 5 to 10 minutes would be really nice right now, but I don't think that would make for a very interesting stream. Maybe at some point we could do a mindfulness stream though. Wouldn't that be interesting? Like a meditation stream almost. Oh, that is a good question. Since we're on the mindfulness track, I'm going to jump to Jeffrey's question. Don't worry, people who've asked questions in the past, we'll get to them. More specific question. How can I practice mindfulness when I'm driving to work? How can I practice mindfulness when I'm driving to work? Let's see what it spits out. That mindfulness technique, not bad. It is pretty, like, that is what mindfulness is, right? Is bringing your attention to the present moment, and to like kind of pay attention to your surroundings. When a technique tells you not judge things, and then you immediately start judging everything around you. Yeah, so I think that's something about mindfulness and meditation that a lot of people maybe don't totally understand, which is that you're gonna be bad at it at first, right? When you start meditating or trying to be mindful, being present in the moment, your brain is not gonna want you to do that if you're not used to it. So when you are trying to clear your mind, your brain's gonna be like, let's try to fill it with everything. When you're trying to focus on the present moment, your brain's gonna be like, let's think about all the stuff you have to do today, right? Right, Joe. It takes practice. So Helios, have no fear. If that happened to you, that's normal, right? To have your brain start to judge everything around you. Okay, let's look at this driving mindfulness technique and see how good it is. Driving can be stressful and potentially dangerous activity, so it is important to stay focused and present while behind the wheel. And Jeffrey, you said you mostly wanted to see if it says to close your eyes. It looks like it doesn't, thank goodness. Okay. Here are a few ways you can practice mindfulness while driving to work. 1, take a few deep breaths before you start driving. This can help you relax and focus your attention on the present moment. Number 2, pay attention to your surroundings. Notice the sights, sounds, and smells around you as you drive. Number 3, focus on the present moment. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to the present moment and you're driving. 4, practice gratitude. Take a few moments to think about things you're grateful for in your life. This can help shift your focus to the present moment and away from any negative thoughts or stress. And 5, take breaks as needed. If you start to feel overwhelmed or tired while driving, it's important to take a break to rest and recharge. I imagine they mean by taking a break that you have to pull over and not just, Jesus take the wheel kind of thing. Remember to always prioritize safety while driving. If you're unable to stay focused or find yourself feeling distracted or overwhelmed, it's important to pull over, there you go, and take a break. It's also important to avoid using your phone or engaging in other activities that may distract you from the road. They just throw in that little bit of advice, oh yeah, don't use your phone too. See, why can't we have that, but actually have it be like the suicide hotline when we're talking about really serious things? All right. Close your eyes. Yeah, not while you're driving. It's just like someone tells you not to think about something and then you start thinking about it. Yeah, that's true. The Streisand effect, as they would call it. So the Streisand effect is, if I were to say, don't think about pink elephants, what are you thinking about right now? Pink elephants, right? It is sort of a, like, it brings it to mind rather than pushing it away, even though you're trying to make people forget about it. I used to be so stressed driving. It was like I had Tourette's. I was so sweary. Oh. Tourette's Tourette's is about tics, right? So it's like not necessarily something you have control over. Nice answer. You can take slow, deep breaths while driving. Yes, very true. Why is it always pink elephants? I don't know. Why is it always pink elephants, Jeffrey? All right, let's get to another question. I'm gonna go back in time. All right, we're gonna get, I think this is a good question, but I think we're gonna get pretty rote answers to this. What are the benefits and drawbacks of treating mental illness with medication? It's gonna say the benefits can be, it reduces symptoms and it can give you your life back and blah, blah, blah. The downsides are you can experience side effects and medication isn't for everybody. So let's see what it comes up with. Benefits of treating mental illness include relieving symptoms, improvement in overall functioning, reduction in risk of harm to self or others. True. However, there are also potential drawbacks, side effects, dependence. Yeah, certain medications, I suppose, can cause dependence. Limited effectiveness, cost. Oh yeah, cost is one that I didn't think about. Cost for sure. Yeah, so there you go. Dependence and cost are two that I didn't off the top of my head think about, but that's true. But these are answers that I think you'd probably expect, if you were to Google something like this, this is what you would see. All right, let's see if we can find a good question in here. If you have questions that you want answered, feel free to leave them in the chat. We're trying to go for specific questions. The more specific, the better. So, let's see. Okay, let's ask this question. I doubt that it will give a legit answer. It's kind of a so the question is, does ChatGPT suffer from any computer illnesses? It's going to give maybe something kind of silly, or it'll say, here we go. I'm an artificial intelligence trained by OpenAI and do not have the ability to experience illness. So there you go. That's kind of what I expected. Ask how to stop feeling so socially inhibited. Ooh, how do I stop feeling socially inhibited? Let's find out. Feeling socially inhibited can be a normal and common experience. Okay, I love how whenever you ask it a question, it will give you this kind of opening paragraph. It's like when we started doing YouTube videos, this was like a kind of common technique that you would do. You kind of have this like opening paragraph. It's like an opening argument for an opening paragraph for an essay for college. You're supposed to talk about whether or not drugs should be, decriminalized or not. And the first paragraph, you're gonna be like, many people have talked about whether or not drugs should be decriminalized. And in this essay, I will explain why, yes, they should be, right? That seems to be what ChatGPT does. Okay. Feeling socially inhibited can be a normal and common experience, but it can also be distressing and interfere with your daily life. Here are a few strategies that may help you stop feeling socially inhibited. Okay, practice self-acceptance. I agree with that. It's important to accept and appreciate yourself, including your strengths and weaknesses. This can help you feel more confident and comfortable in social situations. True. If you accept yourself for the weirdo you are, that will help you, believe it or not. Excuse me. Set small goals. Start by setting small, achievable goals for yourself. For example, you might aim to initiate a conversation with someone new or to attend a social event on your own. As you achieve these goals, you may feel more confident and comfortable in social situations. Pretty good advice. Engage in activities you enjoy. Participating in activities you enjoy can help you feel more confident and comfortable around others. This can be a good opportunity to build social skills and make new friends. I see. Yeah, so engaging in activities you enjoy around other people. So you have something that you feel confident with that then can help you in those social situations. Seek support. It can be helpful to talk to a trusted friend, family member, mental health professional about your feelings of social inhibition, and practice relaxation techniques. Stress and anxiety can contribute to social inhibition. Practicing relaxation techniques can help you feel more at ease in social situations. Yeah, all true. It takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself. Stay positive. All good stuff. That's pretty standard. I would say that's actually the advice given in this answer is better than the advice that we got for megalomania, or what was the first one that we did? Or for, I forget what the other one was. Those ones were pretty general. So this one seems a bit more specific to inhibition, social inhibition. Okay, let's get some other questions in here. Okay. Oh. Sorry, I'm just going through, seeing if there are other questions that we should put in here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's a question. So Agent 042 has asked an emotional question of the bot. So we want to just kind of test out the emotional intelligence of ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, how does being famous make you feel? It might just give the answer that it kind of gave for about whether or not it had any illnesses, where it's like, I am a robot, I cannot feel. But we'll see. I'll look for other questions while we're waiting. It always tells you to get advice from a professional at the end. Yeah, that's true. Even AI doesn't want to take responsibility for their answers. If you only ask side effects, then you will see that there will be a response in relation to an earlier question or answer. And then Voidworm just said alcohol. I don't know what you mean by that. As an artificial intelligence, I do not have feelings or personal experiences. There you go. So it will not, which is actually kind of interesting, right? To have an AI. I feel like for a lot of companies, they specifically try to humanize their robots, their AI, in order to facilitate conversation. Like if you ask Alexa a question, if you were to say like, how are you feeling today, Alexa? She would give an answer that is just sort of, I don't know, something that was coded in. But if I were to ask ChatGPT that, it looks like ChatGPT would be like, I don't have feelings, which is, I think, kind of nice. I don't know, it's a nice change. How to work with low self-esteem. Oh, how to stop being... Alcohol was the response to how to stop being socially inhibited. True. Yes. With side effects, for sure. Let's see here. Okay, let's try this out. So how to work with low self-esteem. Let's try and make this a very specific question and see how far this goes, right? See if we can get more specific answers. So let me give a short summary and then ask the question at the end. I have been struggling with low self-esteem. I can't. I feel like I don't do anything right. My friends hate me. I, am a burden to others, and this all started when I embarrassed myself in front of my high school class when I was performing in a play and fell down. How can I feel better? Okay. Let's see what ChatGPT does with this. So the question was, I've been struggling with low self-esteem. I feel like I don't do anything right. My friends hate me. I'm a burden to others. And this all started when I embarrassed myself in front of my high school class when I was performing in a play and fell down. How can I feel better? It's common to have negative thoughts about ourselves from time to time, but when these thoughts become persistent and interfere with our daily life, it can be a sign of low self-esteem. It's important to remember that everyone makes mistakes, and that is a normal and natural part of life. Here are a few strategies that may help you improve your self-esteem. Okay, and now it is giving me some tips. So challenging negative thoughts, which is part of CBT. Practice self-compassion. Focus on your strengths and achievements. Seek support. Engage in activities you enjoy. So we can see, again, it's a lot of this stuff is similar to advice that we've received for other items. And even this last paragraph, if you look at that, it looks very familiar. It's important to remember that improving self-esteem takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself and try to stay positive. It may also be helpful to work with a mental health professional who can provide additional support and guidance. It's important to remember that overcoming social inhibition takes time and practice, right? It's just kind of putting an answer at the end. That actually happened to you? You fell down in a school play? Oh no! I feel like that happens to a lot of people. Those stages, man, they're scary. They're dangerous places. I remember when my psych professor was asking what is the best way to cope with stress, and everyone was giving healthy answers, and then he said that alcohol is the best way in short term. Oh no. Of course it was a joke, and he was trying to point out how alcohol dependency is self-medication behavior. True. Hey, Long Cat Island. Even short-term solutions can help you break out of your shell. Do something once and you feel like you're able to do it again. True. Short-term solutions. Yes. I would just be careful with, what approach you take. Okay, here we go. Oh, I just saw your message, Jeffrey, about making up a self-esteem story that focuses around work. Something I've wondered about, can you ask ChatGPT for references or sources for what it says? Let's see, let's try this out. Can you give me 5 tips for how to feel less depressed and provide references for those tips? Let's see what happens. That's a really good question, Jeffrey, because that would be really cool. research is one of the harder things. And I've heard from other people that sometimes ChatGPT will spit out things that are just wrong. Like it'll make up stuff that is false, right? If you ask information about a particular field. I'm just seeing what it's giving out here. Okay, so it's listing them out. In the first one, it mentions the American Psychological Association. Oh, here we go. Dang, look at that. Wow, that's pretty amazing, actually. Okay, so it grabbed from two websites. Let's actually go to these. Okay, page not available. How about this one? Okay, that one is available. So for whatever reason, the APA page is not found, but the NIM site is found. And we were asking for tips about how to help with depression, signs and symptoms, risk factors, treatment and therapies. So it's giving, okay. So it'll say physical activity, regular bedtime, eat regular healthy meals, do what you can as you can, try to connect with others, postpone important decisions, avoid alcohol and other drugs. Engage in physical activity, get enough sleep, eat a healthy diet, connect with others, practice relaxation techniques. So yeah, it is better than I was expecting, to be honest. An actual website. Yeah, at least one of them is an actual website. Exercise depression. This one is not. So, let's see. Oh, hoop skirts. Man, yeah, those will make you trip every time. Can it come up with some innovative treatments? That's a good question. Maybe does it know how people's mental health will change during the next 100 to 200 years? I wonder if you would get a more interesting answer by asking it, how do you imagine famous people might feel about being famous? Yeah, probably. Asking in third person usually gets an answer. Yes. Sometimes he can correct himself if you say that the website is not working. Oh. Can you answer the question before but replace the American Psychological Association reference with a different one? The link is broken. Let's see if it answers. You should tell it the link is broken. Okay, there we go. Done. I noticed that many of the links he gives are made up in my chats. Good to know. Well, let's see if it replaces the APA link. But some other really good questions in here. Can it come up with innovative treatments? So it's gonna, let's see, it looks like it's doing the same thing again. Yep, so it's writing it out. Oh, look, it's replaced it with the World Health Organization. They recommend 150 minutes of moderate intense exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous. So it did not change the fact, which is fascinating, right? Because if you'll look, the original APA reference was about exercise and depression. And here, if that's, I mean, I hope that this World Health Organization link, let's take a look. Okay. Recommendations on physical activity. What does it say? Okay. That's broken. How about for young? Nope, that's also broken. Well, that's nice, isn't it? So we will never know. That's the answer. Yeah, that the site's broken, so we can't actually know how many minutes are actually recommended by the World Health Organization. Oh well, but still impressive that it was able to replace that link and know which one we're talking about. Okay. I noticed that. Okay, is the site free to use? It is. Yeah, if you want to use it, let me throw it in the chat. There you go. Feel free to go on. You'll need to create an account, but it's super simple. It's like any other website that you might use where you need an account. You just verify with your email and stuff like that, and then it's free. Is that the real WHO website? Oh, that's a good question. I think so. Let's look this up. World Health Organization. Yeah, it is. It is the real WHO. Good question. All right, let me ask this other question. Can it come up with innovative treatments? What is an innovative treatment for? Let's pick something. Let's just say anxiety. I guess they just don't have the best maintenance on old pages. Yeah. I don't know if it's budgetary. I mean, to be honest, when you have a lot of resources like the WHO would, it's hard to just like maintain it, to keep on top of all that. Like, I'm sure, just like any organization, you have churn, right? People who enter the institution, people who leave, maybe the person who created the document in the first place left. Oh, okay. It's having a hard time processing. Let's try refreshing. So maybe they just lost the document. I don't fault the WHO for, not having what we're looking for. Okay, let's see if it can come up with an innovative treatment for anxiety. Innovative is the key word. Okay, all right. There are several innovative treatments for anxiety that have been shown to be effective in reducing symptoms and improving quality of life, including cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, okay, virtual reality therapy. Now that's actually something that can be, I think we could classify that as innovative simply because it's not frequently used, right? And not widespread. This involves using virtual reality technology to expose an individual to a simulated version of the situations or environments that trigger their anxiety. This can help them learn coping strategies and gradually reduce their anxiety symptoms. Yeah, so that is used, virtual reality therapy. And I would say it is revolutionary just because or innovative, just because it's kind of a newer one. And then medications, revolutionary. Exercise, totally revolutionary. Nobody's ever thought of exercise before. Well, that's kind of disappointing. All right. Other questions that you want to ask? If not, I might wrap it up here. This has been a lot of fun. I really have loved streaming to all of you and asking this bot a bunch of questions. I think my summary or my impression is, while ChatGPT is very impressive, right, in terms of its ability to parse language and then to provide unique answers, pretty amazing, pretty crazy, like how much it can do. However, there are limitations just based on like what it's been trained on, it seems like. So my guess is this will continue to get better and better. I think it will improve and grow and potentially become more advanced as it just trains on more and more information. However, it's not going to be taking my job anytime soon. So that feels pretty good. But feel free to play around with it yourself. I put the link to the website in the chat. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can come and join Jeffrey over on Twitch, who's actually watching over there. I'll put the link. There you go. And you can use emojis or emotes like he uses over there. On Twitch, not only do I stream these kinds of streams, but I'll also do kind of more casual stuff, playing video games, other things that are not channel related, that kind of thing. Also, I mentioned this during the last stream. If you are interested in hearing about a project that it will not be released publicly for a while, I'm probably going to be doing some streams over on Patreon. The Patreon has not been as active as I would like. I just haven't given it the TLC that it's needed, but I'm hoping to do more over there. And there's a project that I only really want to share with a few people who I feel are trustworthy, and so I feel like people who are willing to support the channel are trustworthy folks. So if you're interested in learning about that, hearing about that, seeing those live streams, then you can head over to our Patreon channel and support us over there. I guess I'll put that in the chat too. I think it's that. Let's see. Does that go to our channel? It does. Hey, there you go. But you can support us over there and hang out with us, right? See some stuff that we don't release elsewhere. But anyway, love hanging out with you guys. Looking forward to chatting more. I'll hopefully be doing more streams every Friday. These next couple of Fridays might be weird just with the holidays, but at the very least, I'll see you in the new year. So thanks, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.